Welcome to a tale of mystery, magic, and ancient gods. Long, long ago, in a world where powerful beings roamed the earth and legends came to life, there was a young maiden whose beauty was unmatched. Her name was Medusa. But Medusa's story is not just one of beauty. It is a tale of sadness and transformation, where the choices of gods and mortals alike shaped her fate. Once cherished for her golden hair and bright spirit, Medusa's life would be forever changed by a curse, one that would turn her into something both feared and misunderstood. This is the story of how a young woman became a creature of legend, and of the brave hero who faced her in one final battle. But remember, not all stories are as simple as they seem. Sometimes, even monsters have a heart. So, sit back, listen carefully, and step into the world of ancient Greece, where the tragic story of Medusa awaits.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful maiden named Medusa. Her golden hair shone like sunlight, and her smile was as bright as the stars. Medusa lived in a peaceful land by the sea, where she often wandered along the cliffs, gazing out at the sparkling ocean beneath the warm, pink skies. People admired her beauty and kindness, but her life was about to change forever. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a terrible storm began brewing over the sea. The sky darkened, and the waves crashed wildly against the cliffs. Out of the storm, the mighty god Poseidon rose from the ocean, his eyes glowing with power. He had taken notice of Medusa and pursued her into the sacred temple of Athena. Medusa was frightened and fled through the dark marble halls of the temple, but Poseidon caught up to her. Athena, the wise goddess of the temple, was enraged when she saw what had happened in her sacred space. In her anger, she decided to punish Medusa, not Poseidon, for this offense. With a wave of her hand, Athena cursed Medusa. Her beautiful golden hair turned into writhing snakes, and her gentle eyes became glowing with a deadly power that turned anyone who looked into them to stone. Medusa was horrified as she watched her transformation in a mirror, realizing she could never live among people again. Heartbroken and scared, she fled the temple into the night. Medusa found refuge on a distant, desolate island, surrounded by jagged cliffs and stormy seas. The island became her home, a lonely place filled with mist and shadows. Over time, brave warriors who heard of her power tried to find her and defeat her, but one by one, they were turned to stone by her gaze. Soon, the island was filled with eerie stone statues of those who had failed to capture her. For years, Medusa lived alone, growing bitter and sad. She missed her old life, but she knew she could never return. Her heart longed for kindness, but the curse had made her a monster in the eyes of others. Then, one day, a young hero named Perseus sailed to Medusa's island. Armed with a shield so shiny it worked like a mirror, he cautiously approached her lair, hidden deep within the misty forest. Perseus knew that looking directly at Medusa would turn him to stone, so he carefully used his mirrored shield to see her reflection instead of facing her directly. Medusa, pacing in her dark cave, didn't notice him at first. Her snakes hissed softly in the dim light, sensing something was wrong. Just as she turned to see what it was, Perseus, using the shield's reflection to guide him, swiftly raised his sword and struck. With one final hiss, Medusa's reign of terror ended. From Medusa's blood, two wondrous creatures were born, Pegasus, a magnificent winged horse, and Chrysaor, a golden warrior. As they emerged from the cave, the darkness of Medusa's curse seemed to lift, bringing light and life back to the land. Perseus placed Medusa's head in a sack, careful not to look at it directly, and sailed back to the mainland. Though he had ended her curse, he felt a sadness in his heart for Medusa, understanding that she had once been a kind and beautiful maiden whose life had been tragically altered. When Perseus returned home, he presented Medusa's head to the king, but he didn't feel triumphant. The king, and everyone who saw it, marveled at his bravery. Medusa's story became a tale told for generations, not as one of pure evil, but as a reminder of the pain and loneliness she had suffered. As the years passed, Medusa's island grew quiet. The statues of those who had sought her still stood among the misty trees, but her cave, once filled with sorrow, was now a place of peace. The wind whispered through the overgrown vines, and the sea, once stormy and violent, calmed. Medusa's legacy lived on, not just as a monster, but as a symbol of the complexities of life, beauty, and tragedy. And so, the story of Medusa, both beautiful and sad, is remembered by those who seek to understand that appearances and actions can sometimes hide a deeper truth.
And that's the end of our story. If you enjoyed this adventure through the legend of Medusa, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay updated on more incredible myths and stories. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the wonders of the ancient world and beyond.